want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll take for their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Whip gods into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make great.
All right, guys, let's get this party started. If you want a reading, be sure and visit my stand store. It is linked in the description below. And as always, we have a fair use, a disclaimer. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share the video if you like it. Let's get it going. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Astrology for Mystics with Jen. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as we are going to do a little recap because we've been watching. That's what we do on this channel. We don't try to fix management control. We just try to watch, try to observe, try to learn. And that's what we're doing today. That's what we're going to do today. And man, have I learned some things that I want to share with you guys. In 2021, there was a flood. Okay, I had put on my social media A little quick story, okay? Just bear with me, guys. And hello to everyone here. Thank you so much for being here. Jill, Uncle Taco, Smack Talker, Bo, Marianne, Orb is in the house. Good to see you, girl. Michelle is here. Hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. Jeff is here. Cree Designs. Welcome in, everybody. And if Cinderella is here. Hey, Cinderella. Good to see you, babe. Thank you guys for joining me. Okay, so a little quick story. 2021, I put on my social media, we're going to watch. We're going to watch because there is an opposition that is coming to the United States. Neptune is going to be in opposition of Neptune, and we're going to watch, right? Well, little did I know in 2021 that the flood was going to be in my backyard. It was a historical flood. It killed over 10 people in the town next to me. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. I got to firsthand experience it. And I wasn't thinking about my own transits with this energy that I was watching. I was clouded. I was clouded. I wasn't able to see clearly. The morning that I woke up, my daughter's calling me. She is on three-way with my mom. And she's like, girl, it is bad. It's an emergency. They are calling it an emergency. It's bad. It's not going to stop. And it didn't stop until they woke me up at 5 a.m. and it didn't stop until 10 a.m. And it was bad. It was scary. The water didn't get into the house. The cabin that we live in is up. So it did reach the steps, but it didn't get into the crawl space or anything. Thank God. Thank God. But I learned a lot, and throughout the years, I've learned a lot through my own experiences that has brought me wisdom. And so that's what I'm doing here with Sebastian's case. And I was really hoping that it wouldn't have anything to do with the chatter. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking shit about anybody that is on the YouTube streets that is talking about Sebastian. Let it be Mob Crew, Lolly, anybody, Lady Freedom, anyone. I love that that we keep Sebastian's name out there, that we are constantly talking about him. It's just that sometimes the chatter gets in the way, or the rumors, the chatter, that's including me, it'll get in the way of what it is that we can truly see, what is hidden, any type of clues that we can gather. And so that is what I want to talk to you guys about. First things first, though. Remember last night, any of you guys that was in the live last night, remember this? Remember we were looking at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission? Y'all remember that? We were looking at Israel. We were looking at Iran. We were looking at the Atomic Agency, the Atomic Act, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and there it is. Boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. Boom, boom. I can't make it up. I literally cannot make it up. What we are being told, though, is not completely true. What we are being told and what we were talking about last night with this explosion, with this right here, it's not what we're being told, okay, at all. The other thing that I noticed that was with Tennessee, because there were things that were going to go down with Tennessee this morning as well, last night and this morning. And what has happened is that let me see if I can pull it back up so I can show you guys. Alex Haley and Tennessee. Hold on, let me go back. Alex Haley and Tennessee. Okay. Here it is. Let me show you guys. Let me show you. Here's something else that is in the transit big time with the state of Tennessee. And that is, there is a Tennessee school, Knox County schools have banned the historical novel of Roots by Alex Haley. This is a civil rights issue. I see that in the civil rights because, if there is a chart, if there is any type of creation, I'm going to create the chart for it. I've got Alex Haley's birth time. I've got the state of Tennessee. I've got the map with Sebastian. This is also taking place. Okay. There's a civil rights movement, even though the reason why they banned the book in Knox County with the Tennessee School Board in this city, it's not the whole state of Tennessee, but there is a school district that has removed this book because of a certain chapter that talks about SA, that talks about SA. It's one paragraph, I think it is. I understand why it is, but this is also showing up at the same time that I'm watching with Sebastian. Okay. Just putting that out there. We're going to record this. We're going to put that out there just in case. Because there is a fate that is over Sebastian. It began this morning at 4 a.m. and it let off around 12:30, just a little bit ago, right before I started this live. The fate has left off. But this is going to go back to things of the past with Sebastian's public image, which could have to do with this Knox County. Okay. Could definitely have to do with Knox County. We're going to look at that on the map, on Sebastian's map that I created for him. The other thing is Missouri. Missouri is under a major emergency because of flooding. Bad storms rip through, bad flooding is there is a state of emergency. We're going to look at that on Sebastian's map because both, where he's been before, the public image of the health, a low point at home, there is a fate of home. And it doesn't need to be Katie's home or Seth's home. It could be the home that he would be at. And in the state of Tennessee, we are not having anything going on other than this. This is what is the only thing that I could find that could really express itself with this fated energy with him this morning. Okay? Because it does have to do with SA. And we do know that there is a public image with Sebastian with the theme of SA. Sadly, it's out in the public eye, but at the same time, it allows us to know a little bit more about Sebastian, his past history, and some of the trauma that he's been through, right? So, with that being said, let me show you what we're watching, okay? This is from the live that I did and the video that I did, and this is what we are watching with Sebastian right here. Here we go. Listen up. Then we come to phase 2, which is a fated crossroads, and that's going to be between May 17th and July 7th. On May 17th at 4 a.m. until noon, this is a critical window because the North Node, this destiny, is going to transit to Sebastian's IC, that low point in Pisces that he has. While the South Node, which is about the past and where he's been.
If a baker makes the perfect pie, but nobody sees it,
crosses his MC in Virgo. And this is a crossroads, an alignment that often brings a breakthrough in public perception. So what I'm saying here is this. This energy with Sebastian is going to be fated. There's going to be a fate. The North Node of fate, of destiny, is going to sit on his IC. When he went missing, when he was allegedly taken out the trash, Mercury, and the sun had just crossed that threshold in the fourth house of home. So, what I'm saying here is that there is a fate. There's this fate that has taken place, that took place this morning when he went missing. When he went missing, and I'm going to duel it out. I'm going to show you the missing chart because we can't unsee. When you see the connections, you can't unsee it. And this is just the numbers game. This isn't something that is difficult to understand, guys. This is not difficult at all. It's elementary. It's very easy. So I don't want to hear, I don't understand. Okay. Because if you don't understand, you're not allowing yourself to understand. And I'm saying that in the most respectful way. If you're not understanding, you are not allowing yourself to really understand the process, the method of playing the numbers game. We're just matching degrees. We're just matching numbers. Okay. Remember, we did that in elementary school. You're just matching numbers. That's what we're doing here. Then we're going to peel it, the layer of the onion off. We're just going to peel it until we get to the root. And the root that I'm looking at is things of the past and home. Dad, mom. This is a health axis. And we're going to look at it. We're going to deep dive it with the map. We're going to deep dive it with the astrology, because when I show you today versus when he went missing and the different energies that are around at this time, we just need to look at the clues and try to get a clue of where Sebastian can be. That's all we're doing. We're not trying to fix, manage, control the situation, the outcome, none of that. We're just observing. We're just watching. We're just trying to understand if there is a clue to be found here. That's all. And I think that you guys may, you may find that this method of finding the missing is more understandable than you allow yourself to to believe. Oh, thank you, honey. And thank you for the watcher, for the membership, honey. Thank you so much. I think it was Cindy that got that membership. Thank you so much. Little Miss Sharon, every time she comes in here, she's gifting a membership. She's so sweet. Thank you, sweetheart. We need more people. We need more people to watch, hand out flyers. And, observe the reality. Observe the reality. So thank you, Miss Sharon. We appreciate you, babe. We really appreciate you. Okay, so what I want to show you now, and you can go back to that live, you can watch it. There's more stuff that I'm talking about. There's more stuff that I'm saying, but I want to get on with the show because, I'm impatient like that. So let's go now to Ryan Hall. So 15 hours ago, this is a flash flood emergency for Trenton and southern Grundy County, Missouri. Do not drive through floodwaters. Turn around. Don't drown. I'm live covering this right now. That was at 3:30 a.m. That's when it was going to expire. But I think that they, hold on, sorry. But I think that they extended that because they're still talking about it this morning. They're still talking about it this morning because there was another line that was going to come through. Okay. There was another line that was coming through, and I want to show you that on Sebastian's map. Okay. Let me go ahead and remove this. I'm going to share the entire screen so I can get to going back and forth. Entire screen. Here we go. Okay. Now let's look at Sebastian's map. Everybody see it? This is Tyndall. Here's Trenton. This is Grundy County right through here. This is Grundy County right through here. That's why I put these little dots here. I did have a food distribution center here, and this is on Oklahoma Avenue, Trenton, Missouri. I do have a shelter, the food, like say if you're homeless around here, you can seek shelter. You can seek food and shelter here in Trenton. Everybody see that? Okay, so what we're going to look at is this area right here, the TBI Chiron. This TBI Chiron that is in Taurus, that is actually going northeast from Sebastian's house, is squaring up. There is a challenge for the TBI when it comes to groups, organizations, homeless camps, things of that nature. There's a challenge here with a past pain. Could be about hospitals, prisons, money, values, evidence, groups. Shakeup is definitely seen here. This midheaven that they have is a 559. Well, it is going to be transformed when Pluto finally moves back forward and transforms them with groups. This is where it's going to be, right here. This is also the TBI midheaven that is right here, is conjunct Selena. So they're learning a little something, something here. It's about long travels, but it's opposing children. It's opposing publicity. Y'all know what opposing means. There's a challenge. There's a major challenge here. Then we have the DA, the new DA. Actually, this is the old DA. This is DA Whitley. DA Whitley, where he's been with groups and where he's going with kids and attention. Here we have the state of Tennessee. This is us. This is us, guys. Tennessee discord with chatter and groups with online networking. Eris, degree of 350 and Aquarius degree is the same degree as Sebastian's 12th and 6th house outer wheel and Scorpio and Taurus. Hospital line, things of the past. Follow the money. That's what I have here. We have the Secret Service here. We have a missing line here. So I like this. I liked it enough to actually have a hotspot here. And if you want to take note, I also have a hotspot here in Missouri. And Omaha, Nebraska. So this is Missouri and this is Nebraska. So I do have a hotspot there. I do. Now, if we look at Knox County, Tennessee, we can go here. This is where I got a friend of Chris's here. This Knox County, this is where the TBI, this is where they shine. But they actually shine going north and is squaring their values. So this is their Vulcanus in Cancer. It's an 8 degree in Cancer. 8 degree in Cancer. So this is about a Cancerian line. It's about home. It's about family for Sebastian. You can see that the state of Tennessee is here. Tennessee receives information and leads. This is also going to that North Carolina where he was allegedly seen in North Carolina. The FBI reaches their lunar nodes of fate with values, and we are going up a little bit. We got to go up a little bit to see Sebastian. So here is Knox County. Let me go back. Let's see. There's Rocky Top, Andersonville, Plainview. Let me take off the addresses here. So this is Knox County. And this is where if Sebastian was around Knox County, he would be up here, through here. This would be a good hot spot. Let's see if I've got one here. I don't. But this would be a good one right here because we got the FBI, we got Sebastian, we got the missing event, we got Tennessee and the TBI. Let's see if the parents are anywhere around here. Let's turn everybody off. We do. We've got Katie. This is where she is wounded. She's got a pain that's going here. Seth is also here. So I like this. I like this area in Knox County as well. Let me see what you guys are saying. 8 p.m. in South Africa. Well, thank you for joining. 4 a.m. Jesus. 2 p.m. where you're at. Narita, good to see you guys. Narita and Janet, thank you guys for hanging out. Yeah, we just have to keep an open mind. Yep, stay open-minded. You'll be in Springfield this week. Yeah, and so that's wonderful that y'all are handing out flyers because we've got to do our part. We can't expect other people to do a part that we're not willing to do. What is that all about? I mean, even in South Africa, Janet, like even in South Africa, it doesn't matter where you're at. Doesn't matter if you're in Australia. It doesn't matter. Handing out flyers is the best way to bring awareness to Sebastian Rogers' missing event because even people in Tennessee don't even know that he's missing. So we just have to keep talking, keep it going. And anybody that we talk to, if we've got flyers in the car, start handing out flyers. Just talk to people, just talk to people. Yes. Thank you for supporting the channel. Y'all be sure and hit that thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do that. It's free. It's absolutely free. And if you're here, you're supporting the work, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Let other people know that there's other ways that we can find the missing. Okay. It's proven time and time again to be accurate. So let's get the word out, guys. Let me show you the astrology now. Let me show you the astrology because this morning, this is what was taking place. This morning, let's do Sebastian and let's look at the flooding. Well, let's just take a look at Missouri and the connections that Sebastian and the state of Missouri has. Okay. And then we're going to look at the connections that the state of Missouri and TBI have because the TBI, the state of Tennessee, it all matters. Shit, why'd I do that? Okay, so Sebastian has a 2642. It's in Libra. It's in the 11th house of groups, the future. It's about contracts. It's about insurance. It's about military. Okay. And possibly a military hospital. There's a 2642, but you see it's in Aries. It's their Saturn. And yes, Missouri is going to be having a Saturn return. We are looking forward to a Saturn return. Yep. Okay, so watch this. The 2642, 2642, right? This one is in Aries. So it's opposing the things of the past, prisons and hospitals, authority is opposing a physician. It's opposing the physician. Apollo is a physician. It's an actual, literal physician. Okay. All right. Now let's look at TBI. Let's look at TBI and Missouri because this is where it gets really, let's go ahead and let me keep Missouri over here. Actually, I've got Missouri on the left now. I got TBI here on the right. All right. Here we go. They're 26. Hold on. Where's it at? Oh, no, it's a 2046. Hold on. Where is it that they are connecting? There it is. 2642. So their 2642 is a flame of life that keeps on a going, talking about Sebastian. It's in Taurus. It's in their first house. It's about their life path, investigations, money, values. This 2642 is their Vesta, 2642. So they are connecting with the flame of life that is reignited all the time with things of the past. With Missouri, this could be any type of authority with the government, like a mayor or anything from the past. Could be about a hospital because it's in the hospital house. It's about prisons, things of the past. But for the state of Tennessee, well, I won't even get into that right now. But see, this is where eventually Pluto's going to come here. They're going to learn a little something, and then Pluto will come here. So we got to wait. It's all about timing, right? With the TBI. Now let's take a look with Sebastian's, the time that we were watching this morning, Missouri. Let's see. I think There it is. That's when I woke up. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right here. Here's Missouri. Here's today, this morning when we're watching it. And I want you to see there's a 456 right here. So the north node of fate, oh shit. This isn't Sebastian's. Never mind. Let's look at this. This is what was going on with Missouri. This is the things with the groups. The 2536 is right here. So things of the past. Eris is right here. And she is on the outer wheel. This is the body. Okay, the outer wheel is the body of Missouri, and there is a lot of warring here. Lots and lots of warring here with the things of the past, and it's opposing the health in the state of Missouri there every day. It's opposing. There's an opposition. There's a lot of warring here. We can see that Chiron and Mars at a 28 degree is here. That's where they're at. There's a lot of things that are coming to Missouri that have taken place in the past. Let's go back. Because the TBI, there's other things that we could see in Missouri, but I want to show you, I'm going to quickly go over this so we can get to other things that are happening that I'm watching. TBI and those transits this morning. And let me show you. Oh, that's 418. There. Let's go back to this time frame. So we can see that the sun at a 2637 has already passed their ascendant and is coming and shining a light on that 2642, the flame of life that connects the TBI and the state of Missouri. Right? That's right. That's right. State of Missouri, and the sun is shining. Then we have a lot of energy that is coming, lots and lots of energy that is coming here with Ceres. This could be about church, money, a church that is, in the woods, or there could be some type of agriculture, equestrian, something like that we're looking for. But this 2517 is going to come, and it's going to bring a lot of energy to the ascendant of the TBI. And then it's going to bring a lot of energy to this reigniting of a flame that is going to connect to Sebastian Rogers. Do you understand? We're just playing the numbers game. Okay, we're just playing the numbers game. Let's take a look at the state of Tennessee. You don't want to miss this. Because what I just showed you about Alex Haley, this is it. This is it. Could be other things that are going down in Tennessee today, or that was going down this morning. And watch this. This is the same time this morning. Hold on, let me get it to that 7 o'clock this morning. Okay. Here's the state of Tennessee. Wait till you see this, guys. Okay, the 528. We're ascending and descending with the 528. This is Sagittarius. We're the Bible Belt. Okay. That 528, let's look at it. 528. There is Pluto. Pluto is activating. This is about the courts. This is about communications. And this right here, this dark moon out of 1633, well, it's coming to the civil rights. The Civil Rights Act ascends with a 1634 in Sagittarius. So that is what is taking place with the state of Tennessee. We can see that the 1055 that the state of Tennessee has, well, Hygeia with home, the world health, limits and obstacles. The 1055 is here in the third house of communications. That's the civil rights. That's Alex Haley. That is it. Now watch something. I want you to see something. Sebastian goes missing. Watch this. Don't matter what time he went missing at. This was in transit when he goes missing. Watch this. Sebastian missing. And let's look at it this morning. Watch this. Sebastian goes missing. It doesn't matter what time he went missing at, because what I want you to take note of is this right here. This 344. There's a lot of information that is coming here at 1:36 a.m. The 344 is also showing up right here. I have this degree. Mexico has this degree. Israel has this degree. Donald Trump has this degree. Okay. I've been to both Israel and Mexico. So there was a lot of transformation. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Okay. But look, when we take a look at what is going on today with this fate, look at this. The 344 is showing up, and it does quite a bit. So I'm not sure if maybe Chris or one of the other family members would have this degree like myself, but this is where we are looking for Sebastian, because this 456 is hitting Sebastian's fourth house of home. This 344 is in transit, and it was also in transit when he goes missing. It doesn't go to Missouri. I just told you where it all goes to. So I do wonder if this has anything to do with Chris, because I think that Chris Proudfoot, his Mars, the vehicle in question, could be him or related to him, like Brittany Proudfoot or her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, Chris Anderson. Maybe one of them. Maybe one of them, because, and I say that because of the map, and I'm going to show it to you in just a second. I'm going to show it. Let me show you what else was going on, what else is going on with the state of Tennessee today. All day long, there's a weight of things of the past with SA, because it's with Scorpio, it's about hidden sex. And there is an opposition with the health and the everyday with the state of Tennessee. That's why I'm thinking that it's possible that there's going to be a big stink made out of this with the civil acts, with the civil rights. I think that that's possible. And I know I'm going back and forth, back and forth. Let's see something else. Something else that was taking place, that has taken place in Missouri today, is that there's these desires for structure, for responsibility within the governing bodies. And there is a third house communications here. And it's about education, it's about home, it's about publicity. And there is a lot of publicity going to this Vulcan. Vulcan, remember, is Hephaestus in Greek mythology or in Roman mythology. Vulcan is Roman and Hephaestus is the Greek. That is Vulcan. He's the blacksmith. He's the one that got kicked out. That's the myth. But anyway, there's a connection being made all day long. Eric Craddock, no matter what time he's born, he has a connection with the fourth house of home in Missouri, no matter what time he's born. So I watch this. What's going to happen is this 528 is going to come down in degree to this 525. So we're going to be watching that. We're going to see how that's going to express itself with Missouri. There's going to be a breakup with the courts, with something higher. There's definitely something higher here that we're going to learn. So it's going to be interesting. Other thing that I want to talk about is, before I get to the map, is the May 17th. And you guys can go back and listen to this again if I'm going too fast for you. What's going to happen is this. And so right now, Eris, the goddess of discord and strife with Missouri, this 2536 is going to come to a 2538 and is going to activate Sebastian's chart. That's going to be Wednesday, May 20th. It's going to be a 24-hour transit. 24-hour transit. So we're going to be watching this on Wednesday. But there's going to be a lot of discord, a lot of warring with things that are hidden at home, with hidden sex, with the investigation of home and mom, the family roots, a home, period. And that I see that there's a lot of fate here. This 447 goes to some of Sebastian's family members. It goes to the Vatican. It goes to Israel. So I'm going to be watching that too. Going to be watching that. And I do see that Saturn is coming to another family member or a friend of the family's, and this could cause a little bit of problems about things of the past. Yeah. 2642. Let's see what's going on with the TBI. Okay, it looks like that's going to come second. 2642. Okay, so that's going to be, this is the connection with Missouri. Right there, that's also May 20th. That's the evening, Wednesday evening. So we should hear, yeah, we should hear, oh yeah, May 20th, 6 p.m. I like this. I like this chart. This is that 810 belongs to Sebastian. Health. The everyday with Sebastian is here. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. The connection with Missouri and Sebastian and the TBI is here with relationships and partnerships. Mercury is coming to my ascendant. Seth is rising here. I can see that. What else? And then the next day there is going to be a weight on Katie. So the 21st, there'll be a weight on Katie. Huge weight. There's a lot of warring going on with Netanyahu and Trump here. 1634. Okay, so this wisdom with the 1634, that is definitely the civil rights. I can see that showing up once again. Okay, so I'm going to save this chart and I'll look at it and study it. All right, let's go back to the map. Let's go back to the map because there is a certain area. When he went missing, the moon is coming south. Let's go into Old Hickory. Where's he at? There it is. Right here. This is where I have an old address for Brittany Proudfoot and her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, Chris Anderson. I want to talk about this for just a second because I see that Chris, I'm going to turn on the DA. The parents are on. I'm going to turn on the missing, the TBI, the FBI. The natal is on. Okay. The Virgo moon is right here. And I find this very interesting because the Virgo moon is actually going right over that address. Flame of life is shown here to law enforcement. Line goes all the way to Virginia, 2 or more communications video. Water, river, things of the past, drugs. Well, he is definitely, he definitely has a past history with with that. And he also has a past history. You can look him up on the Davidson County Court Clerk. Born December 88. Here is the new DA. This is where he has a lot of disordered aggression about things of the past. He is brought enlightenment about a physician. And Katie. Katie is here. Her magnetism in Virgo matches me, where I receive information. It also matches the FBI degree as well. So the FBI is matching Katie here. We can even go here and see what this business is. Crafts, Hobby Lobby, Goodwill. Oh, yeah. I've been here before, not too long ago. Big Lots, a car wash. This used to be a Hooters, but now used to be a Hooters, but now it's a Mexican restaurant. Now it's a Mexican restaurant. Here's Chris. Here's Chris. What is this? Tulip Grove Elementary. Okay. But I thought that that was interesting that I saw that. Because nobody talks about him or Brittany. Nobody talks about Chris Anderson. So I wanted to talk about that for just a second because it's very interesting that the line goes right over the property, the old property, or, it's just one address. I've got other addresses, but there is over 2,000 addresses that I have on this map. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So that is what I'm seeing because what happened this morning with the energy, let's go back to Missouri, Trenton, Missouri. This is Grundy County. And you can see that the TBI, this is the Chiron that is squaring up things of the past that is squaring up with their MC in Aquarius. That's a 559. If we wanted to play the tape all the way through, because I like to do stuff like that. If we wanted to play that tape all the way through, let's just go months. And we're looking for Pluto to be moving forward out of 559. We're reaching that MC. We could even go to the 539. See, Pluto is going to go all the way down to a 3 degree, and then it's going to start moving back forward. Now, here we go. 539. Let's go ahead and we'll mark that. And let's go to the 559. That matches the United States with the TBI. Let's go right here. Right here. Okay, so we have, let's look at both of these. I'm just going to side by side them just so I can see who all is showing up from memory, and then we can pull up whoever it is that we're seeing. So this is February 11th, 2027 and February 22nd, 2027. Let me look for a second. Saturn is going to be at that 11-14 degree again. The moon is in Aries here. Let me see if I can, I'm just going to keep looking. That is definitely the 141 is the FBI. And, we have certain people in the family that have that. The 123 is Tennessee. This is the 447 that connects to Seth. This 1516. Okay. There's a weight here at home. At a home. We're gonna yeah. We're about to check this out. Hold on. With Sebastian's chart. Absolutely. I like this. Okay, so that's with the TBI and Sebastian. They're going to be learning some things. Going to be learning some things there. Oh, here we go. Look at that. So Amitos is a 447 on the 11th, but it's also here on the 22nd. On the 22nd. Hold on, let me look. Now the moon is reflecting in Virgo. There's going to be a major transformation with that 447 on the 23rd. 16, 15. Who else can we see here? Where's Neptune at? Over here. 28, 26. Neptune is a 237. 258. Conscious raising experience of relationship. It's going to shake Sebastian up. Where is Juno here? 13, 14. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. Hold on. With Sebastian. Let's look at February 11th. Where's Sebastian? Because this is connecting to the TBI. We know that, right? We know that. Let's see what else it's connecting to. Where is Zeus? Zeus is at 27. So Zeus would be here. And Zeus is going to come down in degree to that 2642. So we'll want to make note of that. Let's see. So Hygeia had already come there. Hold on. $26.52. So it's going to come to the $26.56. And that is where he does connect to Maryland. That's where he connects to Maryland. So there may be something that comes up. And it's about Maryland. It's a low point. So that's where it could be that Maryland gets thrown out the window and we bring in a connection with the TBI and Sebastian somewhere else. And it's going to be about the vehicle. It's going to be about the car. It's going to be about vehicles, cars, home, work, because that 1516 that Vulcan just went over, there is going to be a weight over Sebastian's body, where he went to, the long travel, the courts. And see this 1516 that's got a weight over it. Let's look at it on the map. Because what we're going to see, what we're going to find is that 1516 was Sebastian. That Mars that he has, let's look at that. Hold on. It's right here. So I want you to see something. It's in an opposition with Maryland, meaning we're not going to Maryland. The opposition with the weight of the car, of the vehicle, is going this way. It's going through Jackson and it's going north of Memphis. It's going into Little Rock, Arkansas, or north of Little Rock. This is it. This is the vehicle. This is the body. This is the car. So if we were to take, like, say, Tucson, We come up into right where Roswell is, Lubbock, Texas, Choctaw Nation. We're going north of Conway, south of Jonesboro, and see if we keep going, this is where the opposition is leading us. And that's into Maryland. There is a major opposition. Okay, so let's go back. The state of Tennessee is going to have an opposition. The FBI is going to be shaken up, and so will Kathy Bowersox. 2038, 2036. Okay, so the nodes of fate are going to go here. His everyday, where he's been, that 2036 with the lunar nodes of fate. There is a fate that will be coming over Sedna. And, Sedna here in the everyday house, well, there's some betrayal here. There is definitely some betrayal here. And then we are going to see a divine justice that is going to come here to the 2439. So we're going to see a little something something. Where is the moon? And there's going to be a investigation here in the 5th house. Let me look at Missouri with this. Let me look, because we don't know what we don't know. Missouri. Let's go to Missouri. Let's look at the 11th. Yeah, okay, so let's look at this. What is it? Is there anything that is going to show us Missouri? $27. Hold on just a second. Just looking, guys. Just looking. Well, the next day, there will be a lot of emotions that are going to the moon on the 12th, or it could be later on Thursday. Let's see. 1544. 28, 26. Six. Let me look. At 11:14. Let me go back to the TBI. Let me see what I think it's 11. I want to see if they're having limits and obstacles here. Shit, where'd they go? Okay, yeah. So Saturn is coming over them, and it's about the investigation of the past. So I want you to see this. Their Chiron is an 11:16. And so they're going to have limits and obstacles about things of the past with evidence. That 11:16. Because Saturn is at 11:14, so it's going to activate their Chiron. And we do know that Chiron is, there's an angle there with the TBI, the Chiron, right? Chiron is, hold on. My computer's getting stuck. The TBI. Here we go. Yeah, see their Chiron. Shoot, hold on. The Chiron in the 12th house. So the Chiron is actually where they're going to have limits and obstacles. It's going this way. it's going this way. Their Chiron is actually going here, and they've got limits and obstacles. This is going toward, this is in Kentucky, Columbus, Ohio. So we got New Hope Christian Academy. We've got a associate of Chris and Katie's right here. Associate of Chris and Katie's. Their last name is Nance. Nance. That's going this way into Ohio. And there is also another that's going into Ohio. So that is going to be the challenge. So we could look at Ohio too with this. 539, 20, 2038, 16. Oh, wow. That 454 is Tony Mathis. What you doing, Tony? What you doing? That's Tony. All day, every day. Tony Mathis. What they're learning. Okay. So that could be having something to do with that. Damn. Okay, let's look at the 22nd shit. Could be something that Tony has said. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's go to Missouri again. Let's look at the 22nd. See if we can find any clues here. See, like Sebastian, he matches, he connects to Missouri at that 1215. There's a lot of connections that he has, the 931. Let's look at this. 27. So 23, 50, 145. Let's see where. Okay, so Uranus is just past that 145, shaking things up with the values of Missouri, shaking things up with things that are hidden in Missouri. Ah. 1555, right there in the third house of communications. That is their midheaven, their lowest points with kids in school. This is their midheaven. That it's transformative with the TBI. That's on February 22nd, which is going to be 3 days, right? 3 days prior to the anniversary of Sebastian being missing 3 years. 3 years. Let's look at this. Let's see this right here. There's going to be a divine justice that's coming. It's sitting right here with the way that Missouri brings in money. It's going to transform them with groups. Mercury is here. Their public image. And that 2518 is coming to the timing with Chronos at a 2308. 18. So I like this. There's definitely some type of justice here. Where is Jupiter? Jupiter is in Leo. Mars has just went over that 29 degree. It's just activated the physician with communications. Okay, so it would be more likely if there was anything going down, it would be on the 22nd. But like we saw, Ohio is what is from Missouri to Ohio. Those are going to be the two challenges. That would be the two challenges. And then the 810 was Sebastian with the physician. That's probably going to be on the probably be on the 25th. Let's see. 'Cause he has an 810. Nope. It's actually going to be on the 1st. March 1st. It's Tennessee and Virginia. All right, I'm going to stop it here. $4.58, $4.56. $26.58. I think Sebastian's Dark Moon is a 26.58, possibly 26.59. 26.58. Okay. All right. So the Dark Moon, this, where he's been, there's the 1352. Let's go back to Missouri. 1352. Okay. So there's still hope that this could be something. It could definitely be something. Hold on just a second. Hold on, guys. Watching this because I'm not so sure that this Missouri stuff isn't a clue. I don't think that it has anything to do with the chatter. I think that the Missouri, there is some type of clue here with the flooding because a low point that we would have at home with Pisces would either be about a hospital being locked up or flooding. Yeah, March 1st, 2027. 2027 is going to be, I've already played the tape through with 2027. When he turns 18, I'm looking at the December 11th. Like I played it through to December 11th. So, of course, we do have hotspots. You know, if he were to be deceased, we have those hotspots, but there was nothing going on in Tennessee last night. Except for the what I showed you guys with Alex Haley. There's nothing else that I can see. There was definitely limits and obstacles with Tennessee. There's things going on with Tennessee, but it had nothing to do with weather. I looked at earthquakes. The only other thing is international that took place with Israel and the UAE that I told you about, that I showed you, that is happening in the Middle East. That is it. That is it. There is connections with his missing event to Israel. There is connections there to Israel. I want to say that there's another state that has that 344. Pretty sure his dark moon that we are seeing on March 1st, that could have to do with Nebraska. He does have a lot of connections to Nebraska, and that's also where I have another hotspot on the same lines. On the same lines, I got one in Missouri, then I got one in Nebraska. Then the challenge for the TBI is going that way. And then it's going northeast as well, but it's going through Kentucky up into Ohio. That's the angle with the TBI that is coming next year in February and March with the TBI. And of course, the TBI is looking at all kinds of cases, all kinds of cases. It could be a new case, and it could be that that's where, but that is also pulling Sebastian. It's also pulling Sebastian. And the maps don't lie. People lie. The maps that I create are past, present, and future. We don't have to think, oh, what if, they moved him or something like that. The map is going to show all of that. It's just that how we perceive the map, that's where it gets tricky. That's where it could be delulu. That's where it gets tricky. So, is there any questions that you guys have? Is there any place that you want me to look at on the map? That's right. Divine timing. Peace, love, Jeeps. Good to see you, babe. What questions do you guys have? Is there any place on the map you would like to see? Because this fate that is coming, there's also going to be on Wednesday a lot of warring with Sebastian about the things that are hidden at home, with mom, with the roots, where he's living, where he's at, where he can be found. I'd be out like a light. Out. You want to go back to Ohio and look? Okay. Okay, Marianne says Ohio. Any specific place in Ohio? Any specific place you'd like to see? Let's look at it. Let me take out the addresses. So here is Ohio. There's Cincinnati. There's Dayton. Here's Columbus. Here's the DA. The DA. There's a breakup here. There's a letting go with a relationship here with the DA in Ohio. This missing Apollo that is opposing Jupiter, this is about a physician, a hospital. Over here with the DA, this conjunction with the DA, there is a fate with Sebastian, again, possibly at a hospital. Let's look at the natal here. We're seeing a bunch of natal here. So the 5th house of kids, the education would be here. There's a lot of warring with the flame of life. And this actually connects to the TBI. This is where the TBI has a very intense experience. The natal outer will in the 6th house. This is where he is connecting to the state of Tennessee as well. Gosh, they're really close right here. Y'all see how close they are? The missing, the TBI, and that's that Chiron. That's the Chiron right here. Let me see if I have any addresses here. I do. So I do have one here. I got a New Hope Academy, so I do have one. Let me see if I got a hot spot here. I don't. Let me look at the parents. Oh, Chris is right there. So is Katie. FBI is coming in over here. Let me turn the FBI off. There's Homeland. They match Kathy Bowersock's here, exact degree in the 9th house. So this could be about a church, any type of religious. So this area right through here. There's Kathy Bowersocks. She matches the Secret Service here. So she and the Secret Service is pulling here. It's a 1357 degree in Taurus. That's why they're both showing up right there. And I've got that on there. Okay. SF investigates. This is where let's go. There's a little breaky break. That's where close to where the FBI is as well. Yep. It's going on this side, this conjunction. So this conjunction with Sebastian is right through here. Unionville, Plain City, Plumwood, London, Galloway, Jeffersonville, New Albany, Delaware, Ohio, Nina is here. This is her Mercury. It's where communications are coming in. Same as Chris and Katie, where Seth is wounded. Seth is forced to let go here. And so this, okay, so let me show you something. Where this is going in Ohio, let's go back down. Let's go back down, and I want to show you a little something. Let's go back down, closer to his home. Let's go back down. Let's go back. Let's look at this. Okay. This is going to the new construction with the flame of light that shakes up the DA. Now let's look at the Chiron only, because we just saw all of it with the TBI. There it is. So that Chiron that they have, that we're looking at in Ohio, okay? It's going this way. It's going behind this house on Kellyanne. It's going over 1023 right here. It's going over 1023 Kellyanne. This is where they have a lot of pain. This is the challenge for them, because I think that they believe that he is deceased. What was right here, you ask? I'm glad that you asked. A big manhole. A big manhole. Taurus is earthy. And it's squaring their MC that's coming in February of 2027. There's major challenges here. And so this road, right, this road that comes here opened up. You could drive through it. Now there's a gate. You can't drive through there anymore, but it was open when Sebastian went missing. And it comes to the new construction. And this right here is, there's the biggest manhole of them all, is right there. Now let's look at the missing event. There it is. So what's going into Ohio? This challenge with Ohio and Missouri is right here. This is why we have been looking in the waterway. Because if he is deceased, this would be it right here. And I say that because this has been searched. This area has been searched. Into Ward Lane, we've searched this. We took dogs here. We didn't search this man's property back here where the creek is, but I know that the law enforcement did, because this is private property. The guy wouldn't let us on his property. He said, no, it's been searched enough. Don't want anybody else on my property. So this area, when we are going from this road to here, you can see that Steve Fisher is here. It's same as Chris and Katie. It's where Seth shares a lot of pain with groups. That groups is us. And this is where Nina. Here's about communications, about this area right through here with the new construction. DA, again, there's a relationship here. And I think that they would have gotten cameras from this person right here, this person right here, 1034 and 1036. But as you can see, this is where the physician and the expansion. Okay, so it's about medicines or the lack thereof. It's about an expansion in the earth, traveling quickly, a higher learning for sure. This is where there should be evidence, but it depends on when they would have looked. So there's a lot of things that we are learning here with Sebastian. During the missing event, there are things that he is learning in the sixth house of health, his everyday, the everyday house. Selena in Taurus. Poseidon in Scorpio represents pawn, wisdom, teaches during the missing event, could be wisdom of hiding or hidden sex, or it could be that he either accidentally went into this manhole or he was put here. And this is on Willow Bend. What happens is that this water is going to come down. There would be a big pipe, okay? Big pipe. And you can see the outline of the pipe. Or I think it is. Okay, it's right through here. This is where he would be shaken up. So he would be in between, like Jeff and I and Jill, all of us we have talked about. What would happen is this. He would go into the manhole and his body, obviously being big in these pipes, there are certain, what do you call them, Jeff? If you're listening, basins. There's going to be basins that would catch, that would not allow the flow. So it would be basins. And this is where the TBI in one of these basins, if they really got deep into this is where Steve Fisher has been to South Node. There's a fate here. He's got a lot of weight. Stephen Fisher has a lot of weight here about the underbelly of the earth. And this could be a basin. The TBI, their 11th house, Pisces Vulcan, that is sextiling the flame of life. This is where they connect to Seth Rogers, is right here. This is where we would find evidence. If they would just search it again. And then here's the missing shakeup. The missing event, it would be shaken up right here. We can turn on the natal and you can see it right here. Here it is. This is where Sebastian is descending with relationships right here. So this should be a hot spot. There should be a basin right through here. This should be a hot spot right through here. Underneath the ground. Let's see if, okay, so here's the DA. Here's the investigation. We could even come down a little bit. Let me see where the FBI is. Okay, the FBI is right here. Okay. Yeah. So the FBI is hovering over this shakeup that would have taken place during the missing event. Let's turn off the missing so we can see the FBI clearly. They receive leads here with the state of Tennessee and the House of Travel. It's going to be right here. So if we base this hotspot on the FBI, we want to go up a little bit. Hold on. Because it should be right there. Should be right here with the FBI. There was pipes that were going both ways, but I don't know if it was going this way. I would assume so, because the water is going to flow down, down. There it is. There's the FBI. And we do know that this pond with search. We got pictures of them. We got pictures of search and rescue here in the pond. So this is their Pluto. That's that 1055. The third house of communications with the state of Tennessee. This is also the FBI. This is a Gemini energy. This is about communications in two. Could have been two searches. It could be where we have to take something and put in the waterway system here, going through the basins, because it's the basins that we need to check, not the actual pipe itself. But I would think that the basins, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, basins. Each one of those little black rectangles is a basin with 12-inch to 18-inch pipe running between each basin. Exactly. So it's going to be right here. But we got to go back up. This is the lead and this is where we are shaken up. So it could be, so you're saying the black rectangles. There's the trash here. This is where Sebastian is receiving information. And then what's going to happen is it's going to keep on coming. And here is another retention pond. You see that the FBI is over it too. They're shaken up here. That it's something that they do not see. There's something that they don't see here. And this could be it. There is a divine justice with Sebastian. There is an intense experience with this new construction right here. Right here. Intensity. Major intensity. Here's the DA. This is where he is reflecting, is right through here. Let me turn on the missing again. Yep, the missing is also riding the FBI again here. Chronos is the same degree as the TBI that during the missing event. It's right through here. So he could be trapped through here in this waterway. And that's why it's very important that the waterway is searched heavily. Heavily. The water comes down here. And this is the opposition to the MC. This is what the TBI learns with their low point at home with Sebastian. And look, right here, Jill, if you're still in here, you'll see it. This is where we were. And it's this pipe that's stopped up. So look, here's the new construction and the water is coming down here. And it's right here. Where this big, big pipe, it's got a lot of, you can't, I mean, it's got a big screen on it, a big screen. You can't, a body's not just going to come falling out of it. And it's also stopped up. This is the one that was stopped up, Jill. Jeff, remember? So it was this one that stopped up. And it's from here, right here, going up where I just showed you. Shit. It's from here and it's going up. Okay. We're going all the way up on Willow Bend. It's not letting me go there now. Right here. So we keep going up, and there it is, Willow Bend. So we can go down, Willow Bend, here's Long Hollow, and there it is. So what we did is we parked right here at the fire hall. Where's it at? We parked right here. at the fire hall, and we went back in the back. We walked the creek that way. We walked the creek that way. We got permission from the guys at the fire hall. They even came out and checked on us, asked us if we wanted any water, explained that they did all kinds of drone search, tons of drone search through here, tons of drone search. He said tons of people were looking for Sebastian. Right here. Lots of emotion at home, shakes people up. And you can see that it's in a good standing with Uranus. That is this organization. That's the firefighters that helped during the missing event. Lots of intense emotion with mom is on this angle. Intense experience at home with what's hidden, with the woods, older male authority. And so back here, I've also got a hot spot. And let me show you why. It's because, and we searched it, and let me show you why. It's because if you go up this little road that's right next door to the fire hall, and you go up this little road, it leads you to a bridge that goes over the creek. And the creek is right here. There is tons and tons and tons of debris. And so our next search, we're going to have some men with us because we were not able to pull all of the debris that was in the creek. And I'm talking about 6 feet high. Maybe I'm exaggerating, Jeff. Jill, what do you guys think? There is tons of debris, and we're going to have men. We're going to have strong people picking up debris. There was some debris that we could pick up. There was a lot of debris that we couldn't because it just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks on at those curves, in the bend. That is where it would get stuck. It is in the bend where we're not looking for like a body, we would be looking for what would be able to come through a blocked pipe, which isn't much. So where is the opposite opening on that debris-filled culvert? It's in the basin, in the retention pond. So if we think about it like this, when there was a lot of hype about the dog jumping into the retention pond, dog jumped into the retention pond, dogs doing this, going to the retention pond. The basin, and there's multiple basins that you would have to search. And the only way to search is with a camera, or like Jill found, an otter that detects human remains. A dog could detect it, but the dog can't go through the pipes and go through each of the basins to try to find anything. It would be intense, and they're going to have to spend some money, and we have that technology. We have the technology. So that's where the blocked pipe that I'm showing you on Long Hollow that goes up to the big drain manhole that brings in the water, the rainwater, and it washes down into that big pipe that's clogged. I mean, we saw it clogged. I mean, we I showed pictures here after our search and everything. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it to show you what I'm talking about. Hold on just a second. Let me go to my Canva. Let me go to my uploads. Just a second, guys. Because I do have video of it. Okay, let me show you. Hold on. Oh, shit. Where'd it go? Okay, hold on. Here we go. I'm gonna have to take this off though, so I can you guys can well, you don't have to hear anything, do you? No, it'll still play. I'll do the whole share screen. Share entire screen because you don't have to hear us. Okay. This right here, let me go up. That one's flowing. So this one right here, this one right here is flowing. So this one, the pipe that you see here, it's flowing, right? Easily flowing, no big deal. This is where it's at. So it's a little bit toward, Sebastian's neighborhood going that way. And see how it's flowing, easily flowing. And there's not anything major that's blocking it except this little fence. There's really nothing that was blocking it, okay? Nothing blocking it. Now this one is the one that I'm talking about. This one right here. I want you to see it again. Right there. So you see that it's got like this little fence. It's got a piece of wood that's covering the fence, making it stay still, but it's blocked. There's not any water that's really coming out of it because it's blocked. Absolutely blocked. That bridge that I'm talking to you about that I've got the hotspot is right here. And you can see all of the debris, and we found a lot of that. There is a lot of debris that it would take us a lot of people to pick that up. There it is. There's a bridge. So all of that water that's blocked, that isn't blocked, it's going and it's flowing this way. So where is the opposite opening on that debris filled cover? It's in the basin, honey. It's the basin. Witchy mama, it's the basin. There is basins. It's not just a quick, it's just not an opened flow. Okay, so it's not an open flow that from those retention ponds. The retention pond is retaining the stormwater all the way down. And underneath the earth, it's not just a pipe that just goes all the way through and it's open and it don't stop. There's basins that catches. And that's the reason why this big pipe is stopped up. Is because it's catching stuff that is not allowing that rainwater to flow. Oh gosh, I mean, think about it. It's going to be from Willow Bend all the way to Long Hollow. And so we've got basins that are catching the water underneath the earth and the retention ponds that we can see. So that could be why the dogs alerted to some of those or one of those. Yeah, it was. I would say that it is intentional because um they had to when they put it there for that new construction, when they put it there for the new construction, that piece of wood is keeping that screen or that fence from bulging out. I mean, there could be some snakes in the creeks, but I mean, we were aware. We have sticks. We weren't, got a piece on us. We weren't worried about it. I mean, I kind of was, but they weren't. So yeah, it's going to be going from the whole way down. And the retention ponds are holding the water on top, but then you know, there's obvious water that is underneath the ground too. So all of that water that is underneath the ground, there is basins that are catching it. So like, let me show you. Let's go back. See which one this is. Okay, so yeah, so this is where it looks. I'm looking up to that one that's clogged. So I'm looking at it from another point of view right here. Right there. And you see how the water is just standing still here? There up here, right there. Oh, shoot. It's not going to allow me to do it. But right through here, that's the opening. That's the one that's clogged. And you can see that there's a lot of standing water here. There isn't water that's flowing. There's no flowing water out of there. It's like a drip. I don't even think it was dripping. I don't even think there was any drip at all. I don't think there was a drip. No. Oh, shoot. Yeah, there's no drip at all. Absolutely none. It was dry as a bone right here. And that is telling me that the flow, it's not working. This pipe, there is it's not working. Like, look at this one. See how it's flowing? All that water is flowing down. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what they are supposed to do. See the water dripping? That other one is not dripping at all. Not dripping. It's clogged. It was dry. Yeah. Also, there is a lot of silt that has washed out of that subdivision. And that's by the bridge. Yep, it's right through there. So when I've talked about this place over and over again. Here it is. Let me show it to you. Hold on. Let me show it to you right here. So this bridge that we were at is right here. So I had a hot spot there. And this is why. Let me show you why. Because the water is going to get stopped up. It's going to stop here. This is where the big debris is. Right? So here is the bridge. And right here, that's where the debris is that we couldn't lift. And then we keep going through here with the waterway, that long hollow pike that we were looking at from Kellyanne is right here. And then it's this one right here from Willow Bend that we are very interested in because this one is flowing. This one on Kellyanne, that's flowing. This water is flowing easily. And we did walk, we did walk through here in the creek, but it's this water on Willow Bend that's coming off that new subdivision with all those retention ponds. This is where there is a lot of transformation with Sebastian. The FBI is here, but look, lots and lots of emotions, lots of intensity that has taken place during the missing event. And the TBI would not be able to meet their midheaven. It would be challenged because this is the lowest point that they have with children and publicity is right through here. So it is, if we keep going, right? We keep going, it's right through here that pipe is at, right here. Right here. That's the lowest point that they have. And so that's the reason why we're searching the creek right through here. All the way. We searched the creek all the way. And we've searched this side as well in the waterway, which we got a lot to search. But if you think about it, it's like, okay, if all of this is clogged up and we know that there's basins, we know that if there's this, where he could have fell in right through here or got put in, and all of that water and retention pond, there's the retention pond right here. It's going to go all of this way. So it's about a half a mile long. And then we've got the basins that are catching debris and stuff underneath, underneath in the pipes until it would empty out through here. And this is where the DA is faded. This is where there is a lot of transformation with children and the public eye. I don't think that a drone would be able to go through there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they would make a drone going through the basins. How do you even get through the basins? That's something that we just have to, how to get camera to go into storm water drain system and through basins. Let's look at this. Oh, well, if you're local, you could definitely help us. Yeah. We'll be searching again soon. I'm gonna be letting people know. I got to get with Jill again and talk about the timing. Because she is it's gonna depend on her schedule, Seth's schedule. All right, let me make sure y'all can see this. Yeah, y'all can. Okay. To successfully run a drain camera through a stormwater system and catch basins, you need to use a rigid yet flexible push rod camera for distances up to 200 to 400 feet or a robotic pipe crawler. That's what we need. Success relies on proper preparation, using specialized center guides and navigating bends carefully. A snake cam. That's what it's looking like. A pipe crawler. Let's see. Snake cam. For typical residential commercial systems, use a push camera equipped with a flexible, semi-rigid fiberglass push cable, skids or rollers, access points. Let's see. Navigating the basins and pipes. Go with the flow. It's almost easier to push the camera downstream with the flow of water rather than against it. The greatest challenge in getting far through a system is cable friction against basin walls and pipe bends. That's the problem. When the camera hits a 90-degree bend or enters the basin at a steep angle, don't force it. Pull back a few feet. That's okay. Let's look at this. How do how can law enforcement use a camera? Pole cameras, push cameras, pipe crawlers. What are their challenges? Debris blocks, litter, tree roots, mud, rocks block paths. Equipment gets wedged in narrow or broken joints. Chemical runoff, road salt damage, sensitive camera electronics. Flooded sections drown lens visibility and stall non-waterproof. Murky water, thick mud render lenses completely blind. Trapped methane or hydrogen sulfide endanger equipment battery safety. Thick concrete, heavily soil block wireless control signals. Sudden rainstorms sweep away expensive machinery instantly. Tight 90-degree junctions stop rigid cameras from moving forward. Collapsed sections completely seal off paths to the camera. Long cables get too heavily to push. Pull back. Sudden pipe narrowing prevents larger robotic crawlers from passing. Law enforcement extensively searched the storm drain system during the investigation because Sebastian is on the autism, blah, 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 blah. Targeted drain searches, law enforcement emergency management teams checked every single storm drain within a half-mile radius. Alongside of draining local ponds and clearing sinkholes, search teams utilized special cameras, remote-operated vehicles equipped with high-definition lenses to scour water pipelines and underground pathways where a person could potentially wander or slip into. Despite deploying underground cameras, the case remains open. What challenges did they have searching storm drains? They were faced with a severe set of compounding challenges when trying to clear the local drain storm system. Heavy rain, severe weather. The search was heavily disrupted by cold weather, pouring rain, dropping temperatures. Storm systems quickly filled up with rushing water, mud, creating slick, highly hazardous conditions for searchers, blind spots for camera equipment. Okay, do you understand? So when people say, well, we searched there, okay, they need to search again. They need to clear this again because they did this after the heavy rain came, which was what, 2 days after he went missing. Because storm drains frequently feed directly into or run parallel to these jagged natural cave networks, tracking where a pipe led or where a person could slide into became geographically complex. Many local culverts and pipes were obstructed with heavy brush, rocks, mud runoff. The natural downward airflow, moisture, and enclosed concrete walls of the storm drains prevented bloodhounds and air scent canine units from successfully tracking or picking up a trail near the openings. Because the storm drainage pipes consistent of hard concrete, metal, or packed rocky beds, search teams could not rely on the physical footprints or disturbed terrain markers that they were utilizing near mud banks, creeks, and local ponds. So they need to search it again. The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit initially directed the water search. That's why we see the FBI here. Right here is the Willow Bend, right here. The fourth house, outer wheel, and Capricorn and Cancer, outer wheel. So this is where it's hitting the FBI with the new construction because that's Cancer. Cancer would be the homes, the new construction area, and water. The water from the homes. And this is where their public image is in that 10th house. This is the FBI's public image right here. Things of the past with Sebastian, their leadership. That's where it is. And this is where they shine. This is where they absolutely shine with kids, with attention, with Leo. This is where they shine, is right here. And so that's why we've got to check. They've got to redo this search because that's really the only way that that can be cleared. And it needs to be cleared. Like we need to, there's got to be other technology, other things that we can do to procure this search. And we can see that the missing event is right there as well. Right there as well. Seth is here. House of Values, what's hidden with video, with gaming, or with the video of the camera that is searching for Sebastian in this waterway. Here's Chris. This is where Chris is learning. And there is a good standing with Jupiter saying, hey, that is a possibility. Chris would be saying, yeah, it's a possibility that this could have happened. That waterway needs to be checked. And of course, we have Stephen Fisher. SF gets a shakeup of groups with law enforcement. This is where he has a slowdown with law enforcement. This is where he has a slowdown with his work with the new construction. It's a slowdown, takes a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work to do that. And guys, those are the challenges. That's the challenges with the fate. The fate that I see with Missouri, that's best case scenario. He's in Missouri. There is a challenge with Missouri and the TBI and Ohio. And we've talked about Ohio too. So that's the challenge with the TBI. It's going to be any challenge with any of us with the earthly, and we just had a new moon in Taurus. The sun was shining. The moon was reflecting right over where we're looking. Yeah, they have not cleaned it out. Like it's stopped up. It's stopped up. I don't know. They make a sewer robot camera that crawls by remote control. Yeah, so we were just looking at that, and the problem is the 90-degree angles. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had them. Mhm. I think if you sent those to me and I said that I think you sent something to me and I said that I already have it. I don't know if that was Missouri. Yeah, but I mean, like we were reading about the obstacles, the challenges of finding missing persons, going through those pipes and basins. Got to check the basins, not just the pipe, the basins.
I emailed you a picture of basins and what it looks
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll look at it. Hold on. Jeff said he emailed me so I can show it on here. Okay. Okay. This is what Jeff wants us to look at. And this is the function of storm drains and how it works. So look, so you have the inlet pipe and it drops into a basin. There is all the debris. Here is the basin. The pipe would come, and then here would be the outflow. So there's the grate that we see. But then, that was open. It was completely open. So if Sebastian would have went in that manhole, the big storm drain, then he has to go about a half a mile going through these big pipes and then possibly dropping into a basin. Storm drains and catch basins. I want you to see how it works. So that's as deep. So we could go and we could have cameras going through here, but is the camera going to go down here? Are we going to go to each basin and look down here? Is that what they did? See what I'm saying? There's all the sediment. Here's the culvert. Great. Inlet and outlet pipes. So when I'm talking about a catch basin, how many would you think, Jeff? How many would you think that are between that Willow Bend and Long Hollow where we looked? How many basins would you think that there are that they would have to search without any obstruction of the camera? See, this would be the floatables, and then everything would drop to the bottom, and that would create a debris. So there's got to be a bunch of debris that is not allowing that new construction area water to flow into the creek properly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thank you, Elaine, for the gift. She sent us some girl power. Thank you, sweetheart. You'd think that they would be 30 or more. So Jeff is thinking, there'd be 30 or more. So how likely do you guys think that these basins were able to be captured after all that heavy rain? We need another search. We need the FBI, we need the TBI, we need the FBI to facilitate another search and clear this area, clear the basins. Agree? No, it would definitely be, so it would be I would say that it would be the city. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. Who is responsible for storm drain maintenance Local government, private property owners. Nope. No, it would be the private properties. The local government, the public works, maybe, private drains, HOA. Let's look in that. In communities governed by a homeowners association, the HOA typically maintains the storm drains located on private roads or common grounds. HOA. Who to contact? Oh, that's not us. TDOT, Tennessee Department of Transportation, TDOT, Stormwater Management Program. But we would want the FBI. I mean, we'd want the FBI because the FBI is the one that has to facilitate this type of search. We have to get the FBI on board with this. It has to. The only other, like I said, the good thing, yeah, but the HOA can't go and investigate. The FBI has got to do this. Slam dunk. The FBI has to. Because it stopped up. We can see that. There's evidence. I mean, I showed you guys. It stopped up. There's no water that's coming out. And there should have been water coming out. Either way, the FBI would have to facilitate the investigation to search for Sebastian there. They would have to be the ones, not the HOA. The HOA isn't going to go investigate. They would need the FBI, right? The TBI, the FBI. 287 County Road. Let me see. Hold on. Myrtle. Okay, Myrtle. Let me see if I have that. Oh, shoot. I did Myrtle. Myrtle, Missouri. Oh, I'm not finding a 287 County Road, Myrtle, Missouri. Let me see. Let me see if I have that. Oh, I do. Yeah, I do. That's Master's Ranch. I do. Let me show it to you. Go back. Let me show it to you. I do. It's right here. There's that address you gave me, but I've got Master's Ranch Christian Academy. The FBI has been there before. There's been communications with the relationship, and we do have Katie here. We do have Katie. A little shaky shake with Katie. But yeah, Master's Ranch is right here. Yep. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Let me look at that one. Mahan. So I definitely have that one. I already had that one. That's Master's Ranch. 24302. And Mahan Road. Lamont. I'm not finding that address. Okay, there it is. Okay, what address is that one? Because I don't have that one. That's near Kansas City? Whose address is that? Let me mark it on the map. I hope so, Angela. Thank you so much. Yeah, they're all over the United States. All over. We could try to unclog the end to get the flow going, hopefully not to help them, but to see what I don't know how. We looked at it and yeah, I don't see how. How would you think that we could unclog it? I think that we the basins is where it's at. Like we've got to get cameras that are going to not just flow through the pipes, but actually go down into the basin and check out the basins. That's where it's at. Okay, Christian Youth Academy. Okay. So, oh, what Harley mentioned? I mean, Seth talks to the FBI. We could call the FBI. Call the FBI, email them, write them. I think that's where it's at. It's the basin. If we think back to oh, what was that kid that Tony was on, that case, where they found him in the water system? I mean, that was a big one. That was huge. Waterworks guy found him. Yeah, Riley. No, it wasn't Riley Strain. No, it was, God, I could see him. I can see him. What is his name? But y'all know who I'm talking about. He was found in the water system. No, it wasn't Raleigh Strain. Mm-mm. Yep, it was in Texas. Yep. I can't remember. Gosh, dang. I've got him on the map. I've got his map. Oh, shoot. The kid that was Caleb. Yes. Thanks, Bo. She threw us a clue. Yes, Caleb. Caleb Harris. Caleb Harris. Definitely. But that one was big. I mean, it was big. I mean, it wasn't in a local subdivision, it was part of the public works. So, and they were just doing maintenance. And I want to say, let me see where Caleb, uh, yeah, it was in a water waste station. So that would be different. The water waste station, well, uh, it could have merged with the stormwater. Yeah, because they were doing maintenance and they were at a lift station. A lift station. That's true. The lift station, and it was big. I mean, it was a big one. And that's where they found him. I don't know, but Seth said that he had those pants, that Sebastian wasn't wearing those pants, so I don't know. Well, they can't, they're not gonna go in there searching for Sebastian, that's for the FBI. That would be FBI, TBI, or, Sumner County to facilitate that search using their equipment, you know? They're the ones that are going to be doing the, active looking, the investigation, and all of that. I don't think that they're just gonna go and, if we say, "Hey, it's clogged, you need to go there and look for Sebastian," they're gonna be like, "What? You need to call the authorities if that's what you think." The other thing that I wanna talk about before anything else is that we have on Tuesday, the state of Tennessee has a concert with Tech Nine. I'm watching that. Not for Sebastian per se, but I am watching this concert, the Tech Nine concert on Tuesday with the state of Tennessee. Because by midnight, there could be between midnight and 2 days. There's midnight and then there's something, it almost looks like there's an investigation for 2 days regarding that concert. So I'm watching that too. Just wanting to get that out there. It's against EPA standards for sewer stormwater to be engineered together. Old cities have the two mixed together. I don't know about Texas because some actually do. If I remember correctly, when I was studying that case back when it was, yeah, I've got Brighton, Missouri. I got Brighton. I do have Brighton. I've got a lot of addresses in Missouri. If we just look at the state of Missouri, right through here, look at all of those addresses. Look at all of them. We got tons of them. Tons of addresses in Missouri. Some of them are associates, some of them are family members, some of them are schools. But yeah. Yep. Yeah, it should be against the EPA standards. I mean, it should be, shouldn't it? Let's see. Let's look at it. Let me show you this. How did Caleb Harris end up in the wastewater system? About 600 feet from there, investigators found a manhole. Breedlove said, noting that its cover had been knocked aside. Although he couldn't say for certain how Harris entered the manhole, police do believe that the open manhole was Harris' point of access into the sewer system. Well, guess what? With Sebastian's case, there was also open sewer drain system. Not only was the big storm drain open, all of the sewer holes were open. The thing is that we, upon seeing it after Sebastian went missing, we didn't think that there would have been any way. It wasn't a big, like the one that Caleb fell into. It wasn't big. Those were the round. They weren't huge. It would have been hard for Sebastian to fit in the sewer open drain hole. It would have been super easy to fall in to the big, massive storm drain hole. Yeah, I've got that one in Brighton. But again, a school, I've looked for loopholes and I just don't see where the parents could have put him in a school, in a hospital, anywhere without the other parent knowing. It would be against the law and it would be more than a misdemeanor, you know? Yeah. So, this is all I've got. This is what I got right now. That's what I'm looking at for Sebastian again. We do see that there are going to be, there's going to be in 2 days on the 19th, that Eris is going to activate a lot of emotions of the things that are hidden at home, possibly the new construction. Yeah, it's definitely already more than a misdemeanor. It would be already more than a misdemeanor. Mhm. So if Sebastian somehow evaded cameras and ended up in that manhole, then that's where we've got to check the basins. The basins. And there could be 30. There could be 30 basins from there to where it empties out, where we say, and you saw that it's clogged. There's no water coming out whatsoever at all, none. And it was just standing. It was just water was just standing there. It wasn't flowing. It wasn't coming into the creek like it should. So the basins have got to be, they've got to be. Yep, we searched Ward. I showed that on the map as well just a few minutes ago that the Ward Lane is, we searched that area on foot with dogs, everything. But what makes the most sense is that, and why he's not been found, is that open storm drain system manhole that was 10 foot wide. Being me and Jeff and Seth and Jill, Lady Freedom, we could have all jumped in there together at the same time. Is that it was that big. It was that gaping wide. It's what makes the most sense for the map, for the TBI. And if Sebastian is alive, that is the reason why the TBI has this opposition with Sebastian that would accommodate being alive in another state. And that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm going to be at until he's either found in another state or that area has got that those basins have to be cleared. Until those basins are cleared, I'm not going to let it go. Not going to let it go. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I do agree. And, the local FBI office, who knows? I mean, maybe, I'll just go in there one day and ask them, hey, here's what I've been looking at, and here's the proof. And I know, that there's basins that have got to be searched. How did you search those? Are you sure that it's cleared? All of that. I don't know. I don't know. But, I've been working my ass off on this map and the other map since he went missing. And I'm really good at what I do. And I don't just talk about it. I'm going to be about it. I'm not one of these creators that's just going to talk, 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 and try to bring in money from you. I'm going to have my ass boots on the ground. I'm going to be about it. I'm going to be about it. And I have been about it with Sebastian. Same thing with Layla Santinello. I've driven out to Kingsport 3 or 4 times looking for Layla and will again. Boots on the ground, looking, not just mapping. I'm going to my hotspots. My hotspots that have to do with that new construction have not been cleared. And that's it. It hasn't. I'm hoping that he's in another state. I'm hoping that he comes home, and by December 11th, we have clarity of what happened to Sebastian and where he went to. And I hope that he's alive and he comes home, and that's what I'm looking at too. I'm looking at those two theories. He's alive. Where's he at? He's deceased. That's where it's this waterway system. God, I hope not. But anyways, guys, I'm going to jump off here. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for being here, for hanging out, for liking this video, for sharing it with your friends, and for your support, because without you guys, I'm just going to be sitting on here talking to myself. So I appreciate your willingness to learn something new. And yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day too. I'm just, I really don't pay a whole lot of attention to the chatter or any of that. My main focus, my main goal is just to find Sebastian, let everything else work itself out. Um, if something were to have happened to Sebastian, his parents don't have to be involved with what this theory is, you know? Yeah, thank you, honey. Really appreciate you. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, guys. Michelle, enjoy the rest of your day too. I love you guys. I appreciate you and I thank you. Peace.